Hello, this is Eric Keesaw. I'm the offense coordinator and wide receiver coach at the University of Washington. Put together a drill tape for you here. My hope is you guys can get one technique and one idea to help you out and take it back with you. I hope you enjoy the video. Go Dogs.
Just some technique on blocking down the field, stock blocking. And the big thing about stock blocking is it's all about effort. It's all about desire. That's the only thing I really stress to my guys. Technique's obviously important, which you'll see here on film, but obviously the most important thing is just the desire and the want to, the effort you put into it, because that's really what it comes down to. If I'm a receiver and I'm on the right side of the field and the run play is to the left, that receiver on the right has a decision to make. Do I run all the way across the field and block the safety, or do I take a couple steps off the line of scrimmage and kind of make it? It's a choice. It's a decision. So it really comes down to desire, and obviously now we'll get into the technique part of it as we get going here. So this is stock blocking. Now some of the things we talk about in stock blocking are the what I call the A, B, C, D, and E of blocking. And the A is your alignment. Your B is your breakdown as you break down to the DB, and your C is your contact once you get into the DB and you make contact. Then it gets into the D, which is the drive of the feet, and the E is the effort you put into it, which we already talked about. So this drill right here we're talking about here is just basically our align, or lining up who we're going to block. We break down, and then our contact into them. So all we're working at right here is just good footwork. Once we get to the DB, we approach. The receiver's feet are outside the cylinder of the DB. His elbows and hands are inside in the chest area of the defensive back. He's blocking, and then we'll get into drive the feet later. But just some good foot contact, man. I always tell my guys, you win with your feet. Blocking is about winning with your feet. Everybody wants to get in this upfield battle. I want to kind of pull with my shoulders and struggle with my arms, but it's more about your footwork. You got to have great footwork when you're blocking. So as he approaches, he breaks down. His feet are outside the cylinder of the guy he's blocking. Elbows inside, and we just break from here. Next one comes up. You sprint under control. Again, his footwork is outside. His feet are outside the base of the DB, and just working on the initial alignment, the breakdown, and the contact. Alignment, breakdown, contact, and we stop. Okay, as we move forward here now, we get into is the contact part. What I'm looking for from the DB standpoint is watch the DB shoulders pop up. When those DB shoulders pop up, you know you got a good strike. And then you still keep your good footwork on your outside the DB cylinder. You keep your hands inside, a good strike, a good violent pop, and then drive him back. We want to control the DB and where he's going. When the DB starts to control where we're going, we've lost the battle. So this is good alignment here, good breakdown. He's got good, comes off the ball hard, feet outside the cylinder, bam, hands inside, and drive. Look at the DB shoulders really pop up here. See they pop up? That's a good strike right there. We want that good strike, good hands, placement. We got control where the DB's at. So that's what we're looking for there in blocking. Again, with blocking, it's all about your effort, your desire, and do you want to. Now we're going to roll into route running. Route running here, I love using these PVC pipes. If you guys can build some of these, they're really good mechanics for you guys. And what I'm really trying to get out of this PVC pipe, which you see here on film, is really working on our hips and our shoulders. The plane the hips and our shoulders are at. Where's their eye placement as they're looking through the DB? And then what we call is a punch directional step, which I'll talk. And you can use this on a curl route, an in route, a comeback route, whatever applies to your offense. But this is something we do every day. We never miss it because you got to have great foot contact, good body control through your route. So as you see the first receiver, hips and his shoulder planes being the same. He's got a good right step here, which is what you call a punch direction step. You punch with your right foot, you open with your left. So you see him open up his left foot, kind of pick it up real high. We try to get that done because we don't want to break off our inside foot. If you break off your inside foot, you're probably going to slip and fall on the ground. Pretty good look here. Next receiver coming up. Good hand placement, good drive off the line of scrimmage, keeping his shoulders and his hips low. Good foot contact with the ground so you don't slip. He's going to punch with his right. See, he's a little, now this is kind of a going here. He's actually leaning on his inside foot. Probably not all that great. Okay, we want to get off that inside foot here. Okay, but good finish. Next receiver here coming up. Good punch directional step. So the PVC pipes are really good. Again, getting our guys to drop their hips and being very, very critical in their details of the top of their route. Okay, same thing here. Good punch directional step. Now again, it's the first couple times. This could be before practice, maybe a pre-practice drill you do for them, something to kind of get them loose, or they're kind of getting warmed up, but they're kind of still working about the techniques of their route. But this kid right here, he punched with the right. See him pick up the left foot, open it up. That's good. You got to get your shoulders and your hips square to the quarterback as you come back to the ball. This is a really good one right here. This is a good one here. Watch number 19. He's going to punch with his right and really overemphasize the left foot as he picks it up. It's almost like it's funny, like it's almost awkward. That's okay. That's what you do in drill work. So when you get into game speed, it smooths itself out and it's more realistic. But this is good here, good technique as he gets through the shoot. Okay, another cut here. So that was the curl cut. Now you can do it with the in cut. Again, just kind of, it doesn't have to be always, you always don't have to be full speed when doing these drills. You really want to slow it down a little bit and let these guys understand their body. Great route runners, they understand their body. They got great body control. So this kid here, probably not going full speed, which is okay. Might be a pre-practice drill you're doing, but just getting them to understand to drop their hips. In this situation now, you punch to the left, you open to the right, and then burst out of it, getting the feel of how to drop your hips. A lot of guys don't know how to drop their hips, so you really got to use this shoot here to kind of get them to understand here. It's good work here. Punch to the left, open to the right, get across the field. Whenever we're doing ball drills, we always try to have some kind of a break, a burst, and a ball. Break, burst, ball. So he goes through the shoot, he's going to break down, a little bit of a burst, here comes the ball at him, and everything we're doing. Punch to the left, open to the right, get across the field. Good. So again, you can use that PVC pipe in a variety of ways. You can use it for a curl or an in, a comeback route, whatever works for you, but getting your guys to understand how to drop their hips and get out of their brakes and accelerate. Now we're going to move toward releases. I'm going to show you a couple releases today. The first one here is going to be a 3 hard away. I truly believe in this release. I've done it for years. The biggest thing in the 3 hard away release is to get you guys to understand, create momentum. Create momentum. And you'll see here on film what I'm talking about. Create momentum. Make this guy believe you're taking a true hard outside release. In some cases, you can use it as an inside release. But here, so what we're simulating here is you're at the line of scrimmage. The blue bag is after you take your 3 hard steps. You create that hard outside release. The blue bag is the DB. When he starts to cross over, then you take your club arm and you club and you hit him as you swipe by, and then you get back on your line to close the DB off. So you're kind of using the line as your initial alignment. You take your 3 hard steps, use the blue bag to swipe to get by, then you use the line to get back on your original stem to close the DB off or stack the DB, whatever terminology you use. So we're coming here, we got a DB in our face, bam, and you'll see it here on film as it relates to the bag, to a human. When we get to DBs, actually see it in live one-on-one. So boom, get through here, then get back on your stem. Set the bags up. The one thing you want to understand when we're talking about releases, you want to create momentum. You want to get these guys running, but releases are physical movements at the line of scrimmage. A lot of receivers say, oh, watch this, I'm going to beat this guy at the line of scrimmage. It's a finesse move. No, it's not finesse. You need a great body control. It's a physical movement at the line of scrimmage. That's the biggest key to understand. Release at the line of scrimmage is one-on-one. It's you versus the DB. I always try to translate to my guys, it's like a street fight. It's you versus him. At the end of the day, when this release is over, there's going to be a winner and a loser. Who's going to win? You got to use great techniques. You got to give your guys some ammo to use. I give my guys about 8 or 9 releases. You're going to see 2 of them here today. Just give your guys answers to the line of scrimmage so they know what they're doing and they got a plan and they can win. And the flip side of this too is talking about the DB. You want to get the DB out of his comfort zone. You get the DB out of his comfort zone, you've won. And you'll see that here, and we get to one-on-ones, we'll see it here a little later. But again, just working the drill, 3 hard steps, creating that outside momentum, and then using your swipe or your club hand to club the guy by and then get back on your original stem is very, very important as you move forward. Again, using that bag, and I always tell my guys, when you hit this bag, man, I want this bag to hit the ground. Be physical. It's not a finesse move. So obviously go both ways. We went left first, now we're going to go right. Make sure you see it. One-on-one here, you're kind of teaching technique. Now you want to get some reps. You line up all your guys, you get them all in face to face. You set up 3 hard away, now they can do it on a human being. So now we're talking about, so if you look at the first 2 guys down here, 8 and 4, who are the DBs, when you get them crossed over right there, how those guys are turned, their backs are turned. Now you're simulating hitting that blue bag and throwing the DB by and then getting back on your original on your line to close the guy off. So everything you're doing from drills with a bag, from drills to a human, which is a DB in front of you, obviously your one-on-ones, to your team period, it all has to carry over to the same situations. All right, so now we got some one-on-ones here. So again, we're talking about creating momentum, right? Getting the guy out of his comfort zone. Get the DB to think, to get him out of his comfort zone where he can't just sit there and play man-to-man coverage. So from the back view here, we're going to take 3 hard steps, get the guy, and all we're trying to do is get the DB out of his comfort zone, get him to commit his hips. Now 18 doesn't fully commit his hips, but it's just enough where you can get him, he had a little stick move to the top. That was nice work right there. Get him out, get through, catch, good job. Not bad. Not perfect, but not bad. The next one here, this is actually pretty good. Okay, 3 hard steps outside. So now, right now, if I would pause right here, now the receiver up top would take his right arm and hit that blue bag. That's what I'm trying to simulate as he goes by. You'll see here from the back angle. Pretty nice right there. The only thing I would say a little critical is I would take a little bit sharper angle toward the sideline. Really get this guy to commit. His angle is a little bit too high. I get him truly running out. It's like a true hard outside release. And then you want to get him right, bam, that spot right there. That's a perfect spot right there. The DB right now, his back is to the quarterback, his back is to the receiver, and his face is showing to the sideline. He has no idea where the receiver's at. That's what I'm talking about, getting the DB out of his comfort zone. There's no DB coach in America teaching that technique right there in man coverage. That's what we want to get done. Create momentum, get him running. Take your right arm receiver, bam, swipe by, get through. Got him. Perfect. It's a quick, deliberate, violent move at the line of scrimmage. Good work. Okay, 3 hard away, you can go inside with it, all right? A lot of people want to always go outside with it. You can go inside if you need to. This is good work here. The guy's going to get him inside release, bam, swipe him through, same thing, hitting the blue bag, push vertical on the DB, then get out of it. I like it. From the back here, we'll see it's a good look here. Inside release on 3 hard away. Your footwork's a little bit messed up with the line of scrimmage. You got to open your base up, get him, create him inside, but once you get him committed right there, how the 3 of the DB, his hips are turned. Now 19 can take his left arm, swipe him by, which he does, to get vertical up the field and separate off. It's a good look right there. Okay, the second release we're going to go to is called chop down. This is all about hand placement, and your foot placement. But most important, your hand placement, excuse me. So I line my guys up. What I'm looking for here right now is if I were to look at these first 2 guys, so if I'm looking at the DB number 82 with the white sleeves and the receiver in there, you're going to find, so it's all about hand placement. This is true man-to-man coverage in your face, okay? If I'm coming through on a chop down, I'm going to take my left arm, find the guy's arm, and then chop down real quick. Bam, hit it. Boom, chop down, hard. Okay? It's a very tight C, a very tight, compact C. You don't want to get too high, you don't want to get too wide, because the DB can be exposed to your chest and get it off. Now let's see some on tape. So now we're talking about slot receivers here. Okay, same thing about hand placement, right? As a slot receiver, you know whether it's an outside linebacker or a safety down rolled up on you, they're going to put their hands on you. So immediately you got to chop them down. You got to get through. So you can see number 4 here, try to take his left arm and chop the DB's arm down. Bam, right there is pretty good. Better look of it here. I'll go to it. This is the best look right here. As he goes by, he's preparing. He knows that DB is going to put his hands on him. He's got to chop this arm down. Pick the left arm up. Boom, chop down. Now, when he chops down, if I were to freeze it, look at this is a great clip right here. As we chop down and get by the DB, our receivers' hips and shoulders are vertical down the field. His vertical speed is not being compromised by number 13 trying to get after us by putting his hands on us. We got to get his arms down, bam. You get your hips and vertical up the field, get ready to stick it and go. That's a really good job here, number 4. Another good clip here. I'm going to show you 2 shots here. This first one's probably a little bit better, but watch the guy in the slot. Watch his left arm. His left arm, you see kind of a white glove. Get ready because he knows the initial thing the DB's going to do is put his hands on you. Find your left arm, then bam, he takes his right arm. He's really tight. It's not too high where the DB can get into our chest. He's really tight, very smooth. Boom, rips it down, gets vertical and sticks it. It's a really good job there. Very, very smooth, very efficient with his motion. The guy into him can't get into him is very good. Keeps your shoulder down. It's very, very good. This next shot here, a little far away, same guy. It's got in the hash on the left here. But you'll see he kind of work his works his release here. Left hand, his right arm fights through, sticks and gets out. That's a good look. Okay, a few little separation here on drill. So we talked about blocking, we talked about route running. Got a few releases in. This is just some things here. As you're running down the field, you got some man-to-man coverage. How do I separate? All the great receivers, as we know, these guys can separate. Not necessarily the fastest guys, but it's the guys that understand how to separate. Can they get off press coverage and man-to-man coverage? So this would be like an inside release. So I'm kind of simulating here, inside release. I got a DB playing man-to-man coverage. What's very important to understand is you're going to lean on this DB. You got an inside release. He's leaning on you. You lean, lean, lean. What we call is a wing off. You just want to take your elbow and wing off. Now, what's important is you take, in this circumstance, you take your right foot and you put all your pressure on the right foot. You transfer that weight to help yourself wing off to get that separation as the ball comes in there. Okay, now, as a receiver, you don't want to extend your arm. You extend your hand, you extend your arm all the way out. That's offensive PI. We're not looking for that. We're looking for this guy to be very, very close, keep him close to the body, keep him on his hip, use your elbow just to wing off, get a little bit of separation, but using your right foot and your right hip as you transfer the weight and burst off to get that separation. Inside release. So we've already done our inside release. We're already kind of getting upfield. Now it's working on a little bit of separation here from the DB. I wish the DB gave a little more effort here. You really want this guy to lean on him because, as you guys know, it's going to be a hard man-to-man coverage. And that's the conclusion of the tape. Hope you guys got some pointers out of it. Again, this is Eric Kiesau, offensive coordinator and wide receiver coach at the University of Washington, and we'll talk to you soon.